Hey everyone, Big Rat 310 here again. Another set of reviews. Hopefully this one will be short. I'm going to be reviewing Generation Next, Force on a 2-part 1, Midnight Express Reunion, and the 3rd anniversary celebration. I'm doing 4 this time, not 5, not 6, because up next I have 3 shows from the Summer of Punk, and I really want to do those together. So on the next one I'll do Escape from New York, The Homecoming, Punk the Final Chapter. I'll even throw in Night of the Grudges 2. And then I'll cap it off with Buffalo Stampede and United Tribute, Hell Freezes Over, Fighting Spirit, and Death Before Dishonor 5, Night 2. And then I'll review the old WCW tapes, the ECW tapes, the Attitude Era shit, the bunch of WWE DVDs I have, Wrestling Society X. You got a lot coming for you from this channel. But enough chit-chat. Let's get to these shows. All great shows. This is probably the best set of shows I've ever reviewed as far as consistency goes. Let's go to Generation Next. As a group. This show is awesome purely because of the formation of the Generation Next stable. Generation Next. The point of the show was that they were going to have members of Generation Next that weren't in the group at the time. Jack Evans Strong, Austin Aries, Alex Shelley, Jimmy Rave, John Walters, Nigel McGuinness, and Jimmy Jacobs, all in matches, singles matches. And whoever the fans voted for that they liked the best would be the Generation Next. And would get a push or something. But instead, Shelley, Strong, Aries, and Evans came out and said there would be no tournament, that they're controlling Ring of Honor now. It was just really, really good. They beat up the Christopher Street Connection, so there was no Tag Team Scramble. And then they fought off the members of Special K, Evans, Strong, and Aries in a 6-man. This was very, very good. Well, good. I would give this 3 stars. Shelley and Hydro. Hydro, another member of Special K, also asked for a match. Shelley faced him in a pretty good match. Then they interrupted the Jimmy Rave John Walters match. Nigel Jimmy, that match just went along, had no relevance to it. Another pretty good match on the show was the Second City Saints versus the Prophecy. Very, very, very fun match. I would go 3.5 stars with that. The Briscoes versus the Outcast Killers. Again, this was really short. This was just to set up the next match. Oh, there's also a Carnage crew match. That was good, but that was like 4 minutes. It's not even on the back of the DVD. That's how unimportant it was. And the storyline sucked. But I still thought it was okay. But now we get the match of the night. Basically, Jimmy Rave and John Walters, because they had their match interrupted, and the Briscoes all challenged Generation Next to a 4-on-4 match. This match was like 45 minutes, and this match was amazing. I'm a big fan of the 10-man at Canadian Stampede. I actually like the Canadian Stampede match a little more. I just think this match went a little too long. You know, it was very methodical and stuff, but they kind of like were going backwards, you know? They would do methodical, slow-paced wrestling, working over someone, and then he would get the hot tag, then a high spot would occur, and then they'd go back and do the methodical stuff over someone else. I didn't like how the match kept going backward steps, went like 4 steps forward, 5 steps backwards. But I still give it 4.25, and I still believe it was the match of the night. And Joe Homicide had a great, great match. I would give that 4.25 as well. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed the ending of the whole show where Homicide, because he lost, was having a meltdown, throwing things everywhere, and Jimmy Bauer yelled at the top of his lungs, "Evacuate!" That was awesome. I would give this show an 8.5. You know, you have 2 awesome matches on here, a very good match, and some pretty good matches, but really just the formation of Generation Next, how they came as a whole, makes this match truly awesome. I would give it an 8.5, maybe even an 8.75. Really, I really think it's a must own. 8.5, 8.75. Generation Next. I do recommend picking it up. Next, we get a show that is still in stock. The only one of the 4 that is still in stock. Death Before Dishonor 2-part 1. I think the show is massively underrated. Now, those hardcore ROH fans know that Death Before Dishonor 2, the whole weekend, is underrated. But Death Before Dishonor 2 Part 2 is considered to be the best show of 2004. So this show, you know, kind of is undershadowed a little bit. So it's undershadowed by a show that's already underrated. So I think it's like super underrated, if that makes any sense. This match was very consistent from top to bottom. The opener was fun, fast-paced. I really liked Doug Williams and Alex Shelley. They had a nice, good, technical wrestling match. Worked really well. Romero and Low-Key versus Mafia Wilmer also had a pretty fun little match. I really liked the ending with Allison Danger coming out, begging Mafia and Wilmer to come back to the Prophecy or face, you know, getting beat up. And then Homicide, just out of annoyance, just gave Allison Danger a cop killer. Chad Collyer and Danny Daniels was probably the worst match tonight. A little botchy and just a little too short, but I still thought it was, decent. I still thought they did some okay stuff. Another multi-man generation next match. This one wasn't as good as the other one, but it was still a lot of fun. I would give it 3 stars, 3.25. Pretty fun little match for the most part. I enjoyed myself while it was going on. This was more fast-paced and more high-flying, and obviously not as long. Next year, what some say is the best Joe Homicide match. I've not seen their do-or-die match, so I can't say, but I do think this match is excellent. I would give this 4.25, maybe even 4.5 stars. I thought it was that good. I thought it was that fast-paced, that hard-hitting, some great storytelling. Was it in this match, or... I can't remember the match where Joe bled. I think it was the Generation Next match where he bled, and it was the first time he had ever bled in Ring of Honor. Fuck, I can't remember. It might have been this match, actually. I honestly can't remember for the life of me. But yeah, I really liked it. A lot of near falls, and at the end, Homicide just would not die. Joe hit him with everything he had, and he would not die until finally Joe put Homicide away, and then the Route Warriors came out, beat up Joe, disrespected the title, and disrespected Joe. I would give this 4.25, 4.5 stars, like I said. I think it is better than a Generation Next match. Is it their best match? I do not know. Punk and Commander vs. the Briscoes was an awesome tag team match. Pretty long, but I still really liked it. I would give it 4.25 stars as well. Nice story with them taking out CM Punk and Colt Cabana fighting the Briscoes for an entire fall, and then CM Punk coming to help Cabana win the last fall. Midnight Express Reunion. This is another great show. First 2 matches were pretty good. Fun for the most part. Nothing special. Low-key Jay Lethal was great, I would say. Well, I would say it was very good. Purely because of his mom at ringside. I thought that added a lot to the match, and I thought that made that match a lot more fun to watch. Great story there. Nigel and Homicide. I think this is their only match in Ring of Honor. And oh boy, did they deliver. This was a lot of fun. Nigel actually got the upset victory, which I was not expecting. Which kind of gave Nigel a nice little rub there. Like I said, I really enjoyed the match as well. I would give that also 3.5 stars. Now, I've seen people crap on this Generation Next match. It's also 40 minutes long, but it's elimination style. And really, I don't know why you could hate it. I mean, each fall had its own uniqueness to it. I liked how they just destroyed upon Jimmy Jacobs, and he never even got to do the hot tag. How Generation X kept using the chair, and then when CM Punk wanted to incorporate the chair, the ref saw him and disqualified him. How Aries and Shelley were the sole survivors, and they started fighting. I loved everything about this match. I would give it 4 stars. I thought it was great. I don't know why people are crapping all over it. I didn't find it boring at all. The Midnight Express Reunion ceremony was so much funny. It was very funny. So much fun to watch. Easily, I can understand why people buy the DVD. I do not want to ruin what happened, but trust me, it's worth it. It's worth seeing the shock, the twist in this reunion that makes it so awesome. So all you Midnight Express Reunion fans, check it out. Midnight Express fans. Joe Danielson, this match was incredible. Fast-paced. Well, not fast-paced, but, hard-hitting, great technical wrestling. Nice back-and-forth action. Danielson, I think this was his return to Ring of Honor. I'm not sure. And it really looked like he could win. It really looked like he was going to win the title. And the crowd really bought into it. My only knock on the match is after the match where, Punk came out, Homicide came out, Generation Next came out, Low-Key came out, and everyone just started brawling. Everyone started complaining for title shots. At the end of the segment, you'd think that Joe would confront one wrestler and they'd get their title shot. But no, at the end, it's Danielson and Low-Key are in the ring. One's face, one's heel. Joe is outside, and Danielson says, me, Key, versus you and Liger in New Jersey. Bring it. Had nothing to do with the title. Completely wasted 10 minutes. And you have a face and a heel who just, for that moment, just for them two, were working together. I don't really like it too much. But the match was fucking incredible. I would give it 4.75 stars. I thought it was amazing. And I really think it's a must-see match. Production values on the show are garbage. I will admit, garbage. But I still think the show overall is awesome, and I definitely think it is a must-buy, especially with the Midnight Express Reunion segment, the elimination match, and the main event. Homicide match was a lot of fun. Low-key match was very good. Four Corner was fun. Everything about the show was just great. I would give it an 8.5 as well. Midnight Express Reunion. Definitely pick it up. Next, you get the show with the best production values, but probably the weakest of all these shows, but that's not saying much, because the show is still awesome. Fast Eddie versus Matt Seidel was a pretty fun little opener. Fun. I liked it. Further developed the embassy storyline. Alex Shelley, Jack Evans was a lot of fun. A lot of fast-paced action. Jack Evans is just great. I think people really underrate his 2005 work because he was very funny in the ring. Hey, he really knew how to capture a crowd. Next match was the worst match of the night with Cabana and Nigel with Heenan versus Mothman versus Cornette, but the segment was really funny with Heenan and Cornette confronting each other and making jokes. The match wasn't that good, but I still thought it was okay. Danielson Homicide. I've seen a lot of people crap on their series, but I thought this match was really, really good. In fact, in my opinion, it was the second best match of the night. Told a pretty good story, brawling outside the ring the whole match. And I really liked it, actually. I had a lot of fun with it. So I don't know why people crap on this match so much. Spanky Jacobs, Gibson Puma were kind of the same match. Former WWE guys trying to make a statement. Except Spanking Jacobs was more about the battle of the Contra Code or sliced bread number 2s. I think these matches are a little overrated, but I think they're both very good. I would give them the both same rating, 3 1/4, maybe 3 1/2 for the James Gibson match. Rave Punk was very good. You know, it was a match that set up their great feud. And I've always thought they had great chemistry, and this was a lot of fun. Nice storytelling throughout the whole match. And I would give it 3 1/2 stars. Main event was great, 4 stars. Aries kept trying to escape Joe until he had to confront Joe and beat him. And the way the ending came off was just perfect. I would give that match 4 stars. I would give the whole show around an 8.25, 8.5 out of 10. I'm a great 10. Like I see.